Alright guys, this is Zaxter99 again. I got another update on my Dubia Roaches that we feed to our bearded dragon here. And he's been on a pretty steady diet of these bearded dragons. He's almost a year old now. He's about 21 and a half inches in length. Weighs about 580 grams. So the only bugs we actually use are Dubia Roaches. We really don't ever buy anything else, and then we feed him fresh vegetables every morning. A lot of times he doesn't eat them. Sometimes he scatters them out, like he made a mess there the other day that needs to be cleaned up. So we got to get that all cleaned up. But right now I am cleaning up my Dubia Roach container. Now this is the tote that I had. I keep it right up under the table, up under here. I use that little heater to keep it warmer for the adults. So the red tote goes right up against that heater, about 4-6 inches away from that heater, and I turn that heater up. And what I do is about every couple of months I want to clean these totes out. Now all my adults were in here, and inside here I just put some egg cartons. We buy the 5 dozen egg packages at Walmart, and then when we use them all up, we have 2 of these egg cartons that we have for free. I noticed you can also buy these egg cartons pretty cheap, pretty affordable online as well. eBay and other websites have these that you can buy as well. So anyway, what I've done is I had some egg cartons in here, probably about 5 of them inside this tote. And you want to put egg cartons in here so that your Dubia Roaches have a good place to hide and get in out of the light, because they don't like the light. If you stress them out too much, if they have too much light, stuff like that, if you're opening the lid too much, you're going to stress them out and they're going to kill them. Okay? But they're pretty hardy overall. But every couple of months, what you do is you're going to end up having all the poop and stuff like that. You want to stack your, I think I've already explained this in one of the previous videos, but you want to stack your egg cartons in here like this. That way the Dubia Roaches get inside here and they can crawl up and burrow up inside like that. But then when they poop, the poop will kind of run down. Some of it will stick to the egg cartons, but a lot of it will drop down to the bottom down there. And it'll become, you'll start to see, you know, the feces, that it'll start accumulating down to the bottom. It looks kind of like mud or dirt. It's not real nasty or anything like that, but it'll start to accumulate down there. As you can see, it kind of looks like this. What I did is I took all my big ones out. You'll see a lot more of it than that over time though, but that's kind of what it looks like. And you'll have some broken wings and a few legs, and you know, you might have a few dead adult roaches in there over time as well. I mean, they are going to die over time. You just don't want to lose too many. I probably lose anywhere between 6 and 10 every couple of months. They just die. But you're going to start to see a lot more of that. Looks like dirt, and I think it's actually their feces and stuff. It'll start accumulating down there, and when it gets too bad, you'll want to go ahead and clean it out. So what I did is I have my adult dubias in here, and they have babies. And all the little babies will get up in there and hide, and there'll be some of them at the bottom and everything like that too. But what you want to do is go ahead and pull them all out. Now when I pulled them all out of here, what I did is I separated them. I already had a container for the smaller bugs, and I separated them into 2 different totes. Okay, so in here I had some of my feeder bugs, which I use as feeders. Okay, I don't want to feed them my adults because I want my adults to breed, or anyone that's getting close to an adult. You know, I kind of want to replace the ones that are the bigger ones that are dying off, that die, you know, with let some of these get big and turn into an adult so they can breed as well. But these are my feeders, and obviously I'm not going to feed Rocky these real teeny ones, because this guy's almost full grown. He would eat, you know, 100 or 200 of these little teeny ones. But what I do when I feed him, I'll feed him the bigger ones, you know, the bigger size ones that are a little bit bigger in there. But what I did is I took the red tote that had my adults and all the little babies inside of it, and I put all the adults in one. It still needs to be cleaned. I still need to clean this one out. But I put all the adults in that one. And then once I get all the big ones out of there, I took that red tote and I just put it right by this one, and I just kind of hand-picked all the little babies out. It took a while. It took about a half hour, I bet. But I just went ahead and grabbed all the little ones, and took them out hand by hand. I didn't want to dump it in here because then I'm going to dump all that debris and the stuff that I don't want, that I'm trying to clean up. You know, you don't want to just dump it in here because then you're dumping all the crap right back in here. So, you know, I had to basically pick each one individually and basically toss them in here. It took a little while, but that's kind of what you got to do every couple of months when you're breeding these things. So you want to kind of separate them into at least a smaller bowl and leave the adults where they're at. You don't want too many babies in with your adults because you know, you just want to keep them separated. So I've got all my babies and feeders in here. Now, if you wanted to, if you had a whole lot of them, you could even further separate them into, you know, feeder ones that are the right size that you want to feed your bearded dragon or bearded dragons, and then the smaller ones that you want to let grow up. You could even separate them again, but I just pick out the bigger ones every time I feed him, and you know, feed him. At this point in his life, I feed him about 8 or 10 decent sized ones. Maybe about the size of the distance between his eyes, maybe a teeny bit bigger than that, but I'll feed him about 8 or 10 of those every 2 or 3 days. And that's really all he needs now that he's an adult. His diet should be 90% vegetables, or at least 80% vegetables and about 20% protein. So I've got them all separated now. I took every single little baby, or most of the little babies, in there, and then I just dumped all the crap in my trash, got rid of the trash. And then you don't want to use any kind of chemicals or anything to clean this, guys. You don't want to take a chance on the chemicals, you know, residue killing your roaches when you put them in there. These guys are pretty hardy. So I just took a couple of wet paper towels from the kitchen sink and just wiped it out real good. I mean, that's sufficient. That's all you need. You don't need to be trying to Clorox this thing out or anything like that. Just clean it out with some wet paper towels and make it look, you know, halfway clean. That's really all you need. And then go ahead and put 4 or 5 of these more in here and put your adults back in here, right? And we'll go ahead and do that now. And then that way, that's actually my baby feeder dish right there. So I'll clean that up and then I'll put all my smaller bugs right in here. Or I'll leave them where they're at, one way or another, it doesn't matter. But what I do is always have at least one empty one always on hand. That way when I have my feeders and my adults, when it comes time to clean, I have an empty one that I can dump part of them in. You know, I can dump all the babies into the empty one and then clean that one out. And then I can, you know, take all the adults and put them in the empty one and clean the adult one out, and then I've got them separated. So probably what I'll do is I'll probably just clean this up, that way it's ready for the next time, and I'll just leave the feeders in this one, and the next time I need to clean it out, this will be my empty one that the bugs will go into while I clean that one. If that makes any sense. So that's pretty much all there is to it. These guys are living on a diet of really just oranges. If you use oranges, you don't have to give them the water gels. You don't have to give them, you know, you can give them like pieces of bread or whatever, but I find that the bread molds pretty quick, especially when I got the heater running there. So really all I do is I give them this many adults. I usually I slice up 1 orange into 4 quarters, and I'll give the adults, because there's a lot less adults than there are babies, so I'll give the adults like 1 full orange in 4 slices, and also give my babies 1 full orange, 4 slices. And that usually lasts about a week. So about every week you want to go ahead and get those old oranges out of there, because they will turn moldy, and mold can kill all your bugs pretty quick. So you want to definitely get those out of there about every week and give them some fresh oranges. And that's all they need to live on. I mean, basically besides that, keep them out of the dark, keep the lid on there, and leave them alone. And they're going to breed for you. I try to keep the temperature in the like low to mid 90s. So that's why I have a heater, even though it's the summertime here. I definitely want a heater running on low so that it actually keeps the internal temperature a little higher. Want to make sure it doesn't get too hot in, you know, where your adults are, they can die. But they're pretty hardy, like I say. So that's all there is to it. As you can see, I'm doing pretty well. These adults are, I haven't bought any new bugs in at least like 6 months. And as you can see, these probably 40 or 50 adults are breeding plenty of babies. And this is saving me a fortune over having to go and buy these things in the store. So, as you can see, a lot of those are real fresh babies that I just picked out of the adults. All those smaller ones especially. Alright, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, be sure you go ahead and, you know, leave those questions and comments down below. If you're not subscribed to me, be sure you go ahead and hit the upper right little button there to subscribe to me now, so you get all my future videos and are notified when I make a future video. Also, by clicking up here, you can also dislike or like my video, and I would certainly appreciate if you do that. Kind of tells me if you guys are liking the content that I'm putting out, if it's helping you or, you know, whatever. But if you do leave me a dislike, please don't just leave me a dislike to do it. Please kind of leave a comment down below, tell me what I'm doing wrong or what you'd like to see to make my videos better. That helps me out as well. I want to go ahead and say thank you for watching this video. This has been Zaxter99, and see you next time. Have a good day, everybody.